Hello everybody. Hang on just a second as we wait for people to show up. We're going to do a new, similar but a little bit different character today. Hello. Just going to wait a couple of seconds to get more people in the room here. Hello everybody. All right. Give it a couple more seconds. This will be on YouTube later on tonight, so if you missed it, it will be on there in about an hour after I'm done here. Let me see if I can get my cords out of the way here. Alright, we're going to start doing Hello Jack and Jenny. Alright. Hello Barb and Danielle. Alright, so here we go. We're going to do one with some feet. And if you look at him from the back, that's what he looks like. And from the front, hello Bill. Snowy today, yes. We didn't get nailed like they did in New Jersey. They got, so I know somebody, Shelly got, she's at 30 inches of snow. We've got, I believe, around anywhere from 8 to 10 inches. Maybe not even that much, but it wasn't too bad. It was just very hard to plow. It was just awful. It was wet and slippery and heavy. But everything, I plowed in about 2.5 hours, which was maybe a record for me. But anyway, so I'm going to measure where to put his hat and start his hat. We always start with his nose and the hat first, okay? So, the first thing I'm going to do is measure his feet. And I would say if I had to guess, it's a good 1/2 inch or a little bit more from the bottom. And I'm going to put a line all the way across. I'm measuring with my finger, as I always do. Alright. And then we're going to kind of figure out where to go here with the hat. So we're going to come down over the nose. You're going to kind of make a little bit of a circle there and then bring this out and around like so. Let's see if that's, yeah, that's about right. Alright, now I'm going to measure this side with my finger and my pencil to give me a kind of the same idea where to put it over here. Alright, so that should be about the same when you look at it. Hello, Cindy Walters. Ziegler. Say hi to your mom for me. I haven't talked to her in a little while. I think I talked to her at Christmas. Hope she's doing alright. Alright, so, and then I go down a little bit lower, or just straight across from here, just a little bit lower. It's always nice. So, this is the nose area here. So we're just going to try to match that. I'm going to just measure this a little bit. So it's about the same. Making two sides match is very difficult, especially if you're doing it by hand and you don't have, you know, you're just kind of winging it like I'm doing now. Hello, Donna. A lot of old friends coming online that I knew from years ago, and that's nice. It's amazing how people stay connected with Facebook. It really is something. And we're going to come around this way. Okay, so there's the back side and the front side. Hello, Joanne. And the front side here. All right. And I'm going to put a little bit of a nice big round nose. I always find a nice round nose, big noses, big feet, big eyes makes the thing look cuter. All right, so that's just my interpretation of it. So the way we kind of have it all measured out now. So we're going to go at the very top here, and we're just going to put one cut to the nose here. All right, there's one. And there's 2. We're just going to follow the hat. All right. And 3 on the back side. And this is the guy we're working on today, folks. He's got his little hand sticking out from his beard. These are my little critters. So I'm going to do different ones for different holidays. It's going to be basically the same, just different, holding different things and, you know, just having some fun with it. Alright, so that's where that's at now. So the next thing I need is my little V tool. Alright. Hello, Milton and Tony. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're going to follow this line with my little V tool. And we're just going to follow that up and around. Just like so. And we're going to follow it down the other side. If your V tool is nice and sharp, you should be able to go in any direction with it. Like I'm doing now. Alright. We're going to do the back side. And this just helps us establish where the lines are. Alright. That's it. And one thing you want to do with the V-tool, you don't want to go lower than what the wing portion is here. If you go lower, you're going to be tearing it up. So always stay within this area here, if I can point this out to you. You don't want to ever go above this corner, all right, when you're digging into a piece of wood. Because if you go underneath it, it's not going to work correctly. So you want to stay just below that a little bit when you do your carvings or your beard or whatever. That will keep it from shredding all over the place. Alright, so now we're going to take our nice little knife here. And we're going to just follow the same line. And I'm going to kind of put it in kind of deep. Alright, and we're going to just bring this up and around. We're going to have that hat start sticking out a little bit more. This is a very nice project if you're just beginning to carve. This is a perfect beginners. You don't have to worry about eyes. You know, you can just kind of wing it from there. And it's just a nice little... Yes, Groundhog Day in Pennsylvania. I have never gone to wherever they have it. I hear it's a big deal. And that he did see a shadow, so that means we have 6 more weeks. And they also say he's only 50% right over all the years. So just to let you know that. Okay, so I'm going to just cut out from underneath the hat a little bit. What's going to take us a little bit longer tonight is doing the feet, because we have a lot to cut out. And, okay, so that's where we're at here. Now, what I do up here is I start chopping off the one side. Here's the point I'm going to hang on to. Alright, so we're just going to start sweeping up all the sides here a little bit. Okay, we're just sweeping out from the front. We're going to sweep that out. And, alright. Now this is the one we're going to keep. So I'm going to go in from the top here. I'm just going to kind of try to scoop it out. And it's going to be kind of difficult because you're going to go in 2 different directions with the wood. It makes it a little bit more tougher to do. But see, you have that little... And all you have to do is kind of work that a little bit. Well, Joanne, it's important to keep your knife sharp and have a good piece of wood. That's what makes it easier to carve. So we're going to also round the top of the hat off a little bit. And do I have a little bit of a dip there? Yeah, I do. I have a little bit of a dip right here. Okay. So I'm just going to bring this in. Now you notice I'm working away from that tip, because if you don't, you might just knock it out. Okay? We're going to just bring this in a little bit more. We want it to look like the wind's blowing in that direction. In the direction of where that point is. Okay? just like so. All right. So, and I'm going to start scooping this out a little bit more. I'm going to spray it. What I spray it with is water and rubbing alcohol, 50-50. And the rubbing alcohol, the strength I use is the 70%. You can buy that at any Walmart. Now you can buy a lot of it because everybody has it. I saw a great deal at AutoZone. They had a whole gallon of it for like $9. That's cheap. So if you have an AutoZone near you, see how much nicer it is to cut when you make it nice and wet. Now you don't want to overdo it, because if you end up overdoing it, you're going to end up having some what do you call it? Checks or cracks in it if you're not careful. All right. So now I'm going to clean up the front here a little bit more. Bring this down just a tiny bit more. All right. You don't want to take off too much because you want that nose to stick out a little bit. All right. So it's very similar to what we did a couple weeks ago. Debating what to do next week, or to have a class next week. Might give myself a little bit of a break here. All right. So hang on just well, anyway, it's all right. Now, I'm going to tuck this in a little bit here, right here. A little bit right there. And we'll bring it in here, just kind of bring it down and around. All right, and then we're going to bring this in a little bit further. All right, we're going to stop with the hat right now, because we're almost done with the hat anyway. And you can fuss with that as much as you want. You can have that really sticking out further if you like. That's up to you. All right, now, the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to round this off a little bit. Just take that point off of there. There you go. And then I like to just kind of scoop this out a little bit right over the top of his nose. I'm still working on the Bernies. I did want to say I got a lot of orders in. I didn't order enough stuff. When I order the gouges and things, they take about a month after I order them to get them. So if you ordered them, they're going to be on back order. I'll try to send you an email in a day or so about that. But if I have some of the order here, I'll send it off to you and send you the rest later. It will cost me a little more in shipping, but I apologize for that. I didn't expect quite the response to my new site that I had up. I'm still filling up orders and trying to finish some Bernies that people have ordered and such. So please bear with me. And the other big problem right now, too, just to tell you, is the mail. If you're not having any trouble with the mail, consider yourself very, very lucky. I had a lot of problems since this whole election thing with everybody sending in stuff, and then Christmas, and everything got backlogged a little bit with COVID. And COVID's the big corporate culprit here. So what I like to do is to tell you that I used to be able to mail right from the house here, and now they want you to bring some of this stuff to the post office. It's some kind of, I don't know, security thing that they implemented. So some things I can still ship from the house, but then I have to have them pick it up, and it's just an extra step. So it's going to take a little while to get the stuff out to you, but I try to get it out as soon as I can. And thanks for your patience on that. All right, so anyway, so we're done with the hat for now. Now we're going to go down to the feet. We're just going to, and the secret to doing the feet is a couple things. We're going to just do each corner first, And you want to go straight in. You don't want to go sideways. Hello, Jim and Beth. You don't want to go this way. You don't want to go this way. You want to go straight in. As straight in as you can. If you don't, you're going to end up, you're better off going a little bit out than in, because you can always clean it up later. All right? All right. And that's the back side. All right, so let's keep going here. The feet take a little bit of time to do because it's just a little bit different. Now, I'm not going to use a V-tool on this one. I'm just going to use my knife. So I'm going to go straight across. This is what you do if you don't have a V-tool. You go straight across on each of those lines that I created and match the corners together. Okay. Okay. Then you take the tip of your knife and you just go back and take the first layer out. I always love working from the corner. A lot of carvers do, and it's just a good way of doing it. Now on the bottom, to give myself some room here, say his feet. I had fun doing his feet. They're not perfect, but it's a caricature, so it doesn't really matter. But I work from the corner, and I hang on here. My camera keeps freezing up here. The internet, not the camera. All right, so what we're going to do is this. Let me get my pencil. I'll give you a better idea how to do this. So right here is, we're just going to bring this in a little bit. That's the front, okay, where the nose is. You're going to put like a little Y. All right, just down the middle. All right, and then we're going to kind of round this off a little bit. And this is going to be like our template, okay? All right, so that's how that's done. So really it's the corners here. You know, you're just going to try to shape it up a little bit. So the first thing I do is I'm going to go in the front here, and I'm going to bring this down a little bit further. This takes some effort on your part to just scoop it upward, all right? You're not going to do anything but scoop it upward, all right? Let me take a look at the front here. See how I have it at an angle, okay? All the way around. So the first thing I'm going to do over here on the back side, we're going to kind of bring this down a little bit more, and we're going to dig this in a lot further. There we go, because we want a little bit of a heel in the back, right? So once you get that line established, you can do your cut first, go back up, and then recut it. All right? That's the back side. That looks about right. All right, now I'm going to go to the front here. And you notice the heart is sticking out quite a way. So the feet go in quite a bit from where the corner is. So we can chop a little bit of this out. Just about like that. And then we're going to keep going in. This is where a good sharp knife comes in, and your thumbs come in really handy to cut these things up. Okay, because what I'm doing is I'm pushing pretty hard. And if you're a beginner, please wear a glove and a thumb guard. Okay, I'm going to bring this down and around a little bit. All right, just like so. Then the outside is pretty well even with the top. But we don't have this completely down yet, so this is going to go in a little ways yet. Okay, so I just rounded that up. We're going to do the same thing on the other side. We're going to bring this down kind of deep. And it helps to have a real good flat blade to do this. And what in the world? Oh, I cut myself earlier today. I'm not painting it yet. Hang on just a second. Let me see if I can wrap that up a little more. I don't know why it opened up. I had it. Hang on just a second. I'll take that blood off that little piece here. I actually cut myself on a, when I was packaging something. It wasn't the knife, which is usually the culprit, but it wasn't this time around. So let me just take all that blood off so you don't get crazy here. Alright, there we go. Now, it's always something, isn't it? When it's live, you can't control stuff. Alright, so, well, that went in pretty far. There we go. Alright, so now, what we're going to do, because I'm pushing with my thumb, and it doesn't hurt, it's just, okay, so we're going to cut this out a little bit more. There we go. And we're going to cut this. We're going to start going in on the sides a little bit. Where's my big one? There it is. Okay. So you're going to go a little bit from the bottom. You're not going to go all the way to the bottom. You're going to go up a little ways. You don't want a point here. Okay. You just don't. All right. So we're just going to go in a little bit from the sides. You know, we did the corners, so now we're doing the sides to get them in a little further. Man, I just made a mess out of this thing, didn't I? Alright. That'll teach me to band-aid it better. Alright. I'm still fussing with the feet, folks. This takes a little bit more time than the other. The other part of the carving is not too bad at all. If you don't want to put feet on it, you can just skip this portion and just do the top part, just like with what you did here. But instead of putting the feet here, you could always just put the two hands and the heart and skip the feet. But I like the way this looks. I really do. I enjoy that. So right now we're gonna put a V cut right in the front now. Okay. Well, one thing when you're live, you can't just stop and say, well, I'll come back in a while. It doesn't work that way. So if it opens up again, I'll take care of it. Alright, so I kind of want the feet coming out sideways. So we're going to bring this down a little bit more. I'm going to follow that line on the bottom now. Okay. If you've never cut your carving, you've done really, really well. I haven't been able to do that. Okay. And I'm just going to round the tops off. Again, I'm going to go in a lot deep, right in that corner to separate. Alright. Alright. And same thing over here. We're going to dig that corner out right where, and that's got to be deeper than what the foot, so it looks like the foot's sticking out. It does take a little bit of strength to get in there. And a nice sharp knife always helps. I'm going to spray it for a second. I'm going to just look at it for a second here. Okay, hang on just a second. I need a swig of my hot chocolate. Alright. So, I'm going to bring this down a little bit more. There we go. I really just want to see a real good distinction between the 2 feet. Alright, and again we're going to and the toes are going to curl a little bit as well. So we're going to also split it in the middle in the back. All right, so we're going to just take it. We're going to go. The corner is a good indicator where the center is. Okay, so you just want to bring this down. Okay, and again, you want it deeper at the very top here. So you're just going to use the point of your knife to go in there a little bit, like I'm doing now, and then you're just going to do either side. Hang on just a second. Okay, so, yeah. I'll clean this up more later, but you get the idea, right? So the foot, you just want to keep plugging away at it to make it round, separate the feet, and, you know, just try to take your time with it. You know, there's no hurry. It's not like you're doing a video of it like I am right now. So, you know, just take your time. Now, once you get this done, I round the toes a little bit here, just a little bit. Yeah. All right. And I know it looks very rough right now, but I'm going to show you one foot to save us a little bit of time. I'll do the other foot after I'm offline. All right, good. All right, now that's what it looks like. All right, so now he's got 4 toes and a big toe. All right, so the big toe is set back a little bit, and then the 4 toes in the front. So I'm going to do this side. So the big toe's over here. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? Now you can use your V tool if you want, but I like using the knife for this. All right, so I'm going to go right here, and I'm going to just do a little deep V cut. Okay? And another one right here. And just holding your tool a little bit at an angle. That's all you're doing. Okay? Now, what you want to do here, I'm going to just show you one foot instead of both. I'm just rounding it up a little bit. Just getting the hard edge off. Bringing this down a little bit too. And I'm just taking that really hard edge off. That's all you're doing. What do I mean by a hard edge? Is a square edge. Alright, just to make it look a little softer and make it look a little nicer. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. There is the last one right there. And what I do here is I scoop this one out a little bit. Just like so. Okay? That's kind of sticking out. And I round the bottom of the foot off a little bit. Alright. So, that's how you do the foot. Now some people, you know, I like a big foot look to it. You know, I'll probably be rounding this off a little bit here as well, just a little bit on the bottom. And I keep fussing with it, you know, but this takes a little bit of time. But I think the result is really nice once you get it done. You know, and you get it painted, it looks really nice. All right, so that's the one foot. I'll do the other foot when offline. All right, so let's start with the beard, and let's get his little, he's got little hands sticking out, only 3 little fingers there. He's a critter. He's not a human either, so, but we're just going to have some fun with it. So the next thing we're going to do is we're going to figure out where his nose goes. And so, you know, you can put, let me tell you this, when I did these, I carved all these on. That's fine, well and good, but they take time to carve in there. So any angle I looked at it, I would see a little heart, okay? Now on this one, I just have a painted heart at the top, and I did more of a pinkish color and a darker red for the heart. It's up to you. You want to put hearts all over the hat? Be creative. It's up to you. There's no right or wrong way of doing it. So, because I like the nose kind of nice and big, I'm going to just start, and I'm going to bring this down a little bit. There you go. And right here, you're going to go straight in, right where the hat meets, and you're going to just bring this down and around. And you're going to just bring that out, just like so. Alright, there you go. And you're going to do the same thing over here. Let me see if I can draw that on, because right there. Alright, good. I'm going to bring that around, and I'm going to bring that right up. Again, it's going to be straight, parallel with the corner. And, alright. Oh, the size of this thing was 3.5 inches tall by 1.5 by 1.5. This is 2.5, so it's exactly the same as this, but it's 1 inch higher. Alright. And I like his nose to really stick out, so I'm going to recut this a little bit again, and I'm just going to chop it. And it's always deepest right where the nose and the hat meet. See the difference when you make it deeper than if you don't? It just makes it pop out better. I think I'll be doing these classes for a while. I don't think I'll be doing anything up here at the farm anytime soon. From the sounds of things, until the vaccinations all get out and stuff. So, yeah. So, all right. So that's the nose. We're going to round the nose a little bit more. All right. That looks pretty good. And we're going to just bring this down a little bit so it looks like the nose is sticking out a little bit. All right. So now comes the hands. So the bottom part of the heart is right here. So I'm just going to try. This is already kind of made for you right here. When you cut this up, this is a little bit rounded right here. So why don't we start right there? It would be better if I had a better... Okay, there you go. And I put this on first, and then I'll figure out where to put the hands. Hard part is getting the same distance. There you go. Okay. Oh, not good. Let me do this back here where I have a little more, I can see it a little bit better. There you go. Alright. So we have the heart in there. Alright. So now I'm going to put a line right here. Alright. I wish I had a better pencil. It'd be very helpful, but I don't right now. See if I can just take off that. Have a film on it or something. Alright. Oh, you're welcome. Yeah, I won't do that too often, 2 days in a row. Okay, so I'm going to just put one line there, one line here. And all you do is make your 3 little loops. Like so. Alright. And you can make them any size you want, actually. You're welcome, Mark. Alright, So what I do here is I just take my knife here, and I'm going to cut this out right here, and we're just going to tuck this behind the hand, okay? And we're going to kind of take this out a little bit here, and right here is the beginning of in there pretty far because it's at the corner, and that's going to be rounded off anyway. And I'm going to just pop that out. There we go. This is a start here, because this will be rounded off a little bit later. And then I'll take that right to the hand, right to the finger there, and I'll follow that up and around. And again, we're going to take a little bit out behind the hand, because the hand's sticking out of his beard. Alright. I'm going to follow this around like so, and then follow the rest of the heart around here like this, okay? And I'm going to just take my knife and I'm going to slowly cut that away. Alright. I'm going to bring this back a little bit more. And because that's the point, I'm going to cut this back a little bit. Alright, so actually you're going to go around this way and just pop this out. There we go. Alright, now I'm going to use my little V tool. You can use the V tool, it makes it a little bit easier. So I'm going to take my V tool and I'm going to go up, and then I'm going to go up and around. Alright, here's the little finger right there. I know that the pencil didn't come out like I thought. Alright, and then I'm going to do each one a little bit of a, and I'm going to bring this down around. There we go. Alright, so let's see if I can do this other hand. I just go straight across first, and then I do those little loopies. This has to come up and around. Okay. So it takes a little bit of time to do the heart here, but it's well worth it, you know. You either do it on the hat or you do it in the front. It always takes time. Always takes time. So I'm going to bring this down a little bit and start rounding off this heart because I know where the lines are. I'm going to bring this down a little bit, and we're going to... Okay, let me take this back here just to get a better look at it and see what else I need to do here. Okay. Hang on, I'll be right back. I need to get this one hand done, and it's not coming out the way I want it to. Okay, so you're going to make this hand stick out a little further, and I'm going to use the little V tool, and I'm going to make that little rounded portion, just like so. Alright. You notice I'm moving my piece. I'm not moving my hand a lot. I do that a lot. If I move the piece more than I move my hand to follow that line. Okay? And there's one. Let's do the other side. Alright. Okay, I'm going to turn my piece again. I'm just going to hold on to the tool and let my hand, this hand, turn it. Just makes it easier. And that's your little hands on either side. Now you can make that as prominent as you want. I have those sticking out quite a ways. You can leave them like that. It will look just the same. But what we're going to do is we're going to bring down the sides a little bit. We're going to tuck. He's got no nothing but hair on him. There's no pants. There's no clothing. It's just his hair. And I'm just going to take that. I'm going to come right behind here and I'm going to just pop this out a little bit. Alright. And I'm going to make this a tiny bit deeper down here. Alright. Yeah, be careful. Be careful you don't cut his toes off. That would be not so good. And you want to take all this rough stuff off, as usual. You know. But I like them a little rounded, which we're doing. And I'm going to bring this a little bit flatter so those hands stick out a little bit more. Alright. This is going to come down a little bit more. Up to that hand. Let's see if I can get that out of there. Let me get my... Sometimes if you have a pointer knife, it works. And these Murphy knives, see how nice I can get in there with that? That's perfect. Alright, and same thing right there. You can use these Murphy knives as a detail knife or as a roughing knife. But it does a nice job. Okay, just like that. Perfect. Okay, I'm going to just knock that out a little bit right there. There we go. If you have any questions, you're more than welcome to ask. I'll see if I can see it. Like I always tell you, I only see 2 or 3 people at a time. I don't see the whole list of people that are watching. So if you pop in and out, I don't really see that. I'm taking all that rough stuff off now, right? So, up and around. Okay, now here, the back side is a little bit, just a little bit of a curvature. It's not a huge deal. And I think we're supposed to get a little more snow this coming weekend. I'm not sure about that. One of my friends told me that, and I thought, oh. So I think I'll leave the plow on the tractor for a while. I got the tractor leak fixed, and that had me worried. Just how do you plow things around the farm without a tractor? And I was lucky to catch that leak, because if I didn't, I would have seized up that motor. That would have been a disaster. Expensive repair. Especially for John Deere. They're not cheap to maintain. I try very hard not to bring it to the John Deere dealer. They're usually so expensive. Okay, so there's the back side is done. I'm going to do a little more on, I'll do the hat a little bit later, but you want to just take off those hard edges. You know, just kind of take them off a little bit. And, yeah. Now let me take a look at him. All right. He's coming along pretty good. I just have to do his other foot when I get offline. So this is the way it should look, not like this. Like this. Okay? Let's see. So the last thing we do is you take your little V-tool and we're going to put hair all over them. These are fun to do. You know, they're just a nice little thing. You don't have to think too much how to do it. Now here, right here, I'm going to follow those lines out a little bit with my knife. Just like with the point. And I'm going to bring this back a little bit. Just like so. And I'm going to trim all this off here. So it looks a little more rounded. You get the idea. Let me do it back here for a second where I can see it better. Hang on, I'll be right back. I don't have my glasses on today, so that doesn't help me. You'd think I'd be prepared for this class a little better, but oh well. It is what it is. Alright. Now, yeah, okay, so see how I dug out little fingers? I'm going to do that side the same way. I'm going to share with you I'll finish that up later. That just gives you an idea. You want to take all the rough stuff off. Alright, and you just want to kind of make sure you have that point at the bottom of the heart. Alright, and here comes the fun stuff. Where's my hefty little bead tool? Alright, so I'm going to clean it up later, but the hat's pretty well done. If you want to put some extra things on it, you can. It's up to you. So how do I do the beard? Well, it's a little tough to do it right above the heart, but I usually go towards the nose. So I just go around it. Now I'll go in a little bit in a different direction. Okay. And then I'll turn it around and I'll put it down to the heart a little bit. Let's see if I can dig that out a little bit. Okay. Alright. And then you just kind of want to go around his hands. And I usually work from the edges. I usually work towards the edges and then do the center last, because then I can mix and match. And notice I'm going in a little bit different direction when I go around. Alright, it's not just straight up and down. Sometimes it is. You just kind of do a variation of it. Okay, right here we're going to come straight down. A little bit of a turn there. And you just... Everybody has their own style how they do these things. Alright, so now I'm going to turn it over. And I'm going to go the opposite direction. And I'm going to do it like it's wrapped around. And I do it pretty deep. As deep as my blade pretty will allow it, because I want it to look a little rough on the bottom. Alright, it's not... We had a real good crowd yesterday about sharpening. If you missed it, you can go on to YouTube and it will be there for you to watch. Just different methods, or the way I take care of it, and little secrets on how to keep it sharp and why a blade will work better one time than another. Alright, now, let's see here. Now I'm going to work my way up of meshing these two together a little bit, just like so. See, that's why right here it's a little difficult, because I'm going to try to get as close as I can going from the top down. Not always a clean cut that way, but it works. I'll see what I'll do next week. I haven't decided yet. Sometimes I don't decide until a couple of days beforehand. I have a couple things in mind yet. And, yeah. I gotta think of some new ideas. I'm still carving some Bernies. I did about 8 of them so far, and more than half were spoken for. So that was a lot of fun. I mean, really, considering everything going on in the last couple of years and all the turmoil, it was nice to just have some fun with it. And it didn't matter, you know, which side of the aisle you were on. It was just fun. We need lighthearted moments like that, folks. We really do. You notice how I'm just turning it around, and there we go. There's our little guy holding a heart. And I'll finish this portion in his foot when I get offline. And if you have any other questions before I get off, go ahead and post it. I'll try to answer it for you as we go along. Like I said, next week I'm not so certain what we're doing. I might take a week off. I don't know yet. But anyway, this is project number 31. Well, actually, 32 videos, but this is a project. I'm not counting the painting that I did earlier and the sharpening. So have a great night, folks. We'll see you probably next week, and be safe and stay warm. All right, take care, folks. Bye bye.